This is what happens when all of your favorite food companies decide to make tech products. So let's go from the smallest brands all the way to the giants like Nutella, Oreo, and even McDonald's to find out who can also make top tier tech and who should just stick to their day jobs. Cooking things off with Pot Noodle, who with just 40,000 Instagram followers are more of a British brand than global. Oh, never seen that before. Well, that is the company's official spinning fork, designed to save you the agonizing finger twirl that you normally have to do to pick up your noodles. Jeez, man, this is so loud. It's one way to break awkward dinner time silence. Interestingly, the prongs of the fork are wavy. I wonder if that helps it catch the strands better. So a hot, fresh pot noodle goes into the mug. I had this uniform on for 15 seconds. My kryptonite is white clothes. So you put your fork in, twizzle it around. Probably you have a construction site set up right next to the dinner table. Anything it may gain over a normal fork, it loses in the fact that it sounds like heavy machinery next to your ear. And then you lift it out. Considering this is designed by Pot Noodle for Pot Noodle, I expected it to be a lot better than it is. Detail. But what if you wanted your long, bendy carbohydrates more upmarket? Well, this is 3D printed pasta by Barilla, who's actually huge in the pasta scene with 200,000 followers. I mean, seriously, when have you ever seen pasta packaged like this? This is insane. But it does kind of make sense. I mean, clearly you're not whipping this out for a Tuesday night mac and cheese for 6, but you could use this for a centerpiece of a dish or like really fancy finger food, because the incredibly complex 3D printed shapes are apparently also really good at locking in the flavors of your sauce. So this is a plate of normal penne pasta. Cost us less than $1. This is the same weight of Barilla's printed pasta, and it cost us $25. And even after cooking, they look every bit as detailed as they did before. To be fair, it looks so good, you could basically just present it like this. This is the best part of every food video. Normal penne in the sauce. Let's give it a twizzle while we're at it. Do you want some penne with this? That's already pretty great. So if that's $1, how do you improve on that? I want to try this Christmas tree looking one. Hot noodle fork, give it a little spin. Barilla never saw this coming. One downside is it is breaking up inside of the sauce because it's so intricate. That's so interesting. It's like one single piece of really long spaghetti that's been wound around and around and around, and then it unravels in your mouth. That's fun to eat. Did I make this video just because I was hungry? No. The flavor is exactly what you expect. It just tastes like pasta. But really, I think the main benefit of something like this is if you were hosting a dinner party or you were really trying to impress your in-laws, then I think it is so cool that the average person can serve a dish that looks like this. I think this is straight to A tier. But now, at over 350,000 followers, we have Hotel Chocolat, who for the last 7 years have been selling the absolutely iconic Velvetizer, a machine that makes the smoothest damn hot chocolates that money can buy. And this is the now upgraded V2 of that product. The secret sauce here being a combination of the ridges in the container and this new whisk design, which is actually kind of wild because it is held in place and controlled entirely by magnets. And it's all tailored to being able to introduce so much air into your drink that you end up with this frothy velvet-like texture. Okay, so milk up until the fill line. I guess now because it can mix even better than before, this thing doesn't even need to melt the chocolate, so it can make cold drinks too. Then you tip the powder in, so I've gone for mint chocolate. And the last thing is you just flick this dial either to the red for hot drink or to the blue for cold drink. That's so cool. It's creating like a vortex on the inside. Why is this quieter than the pot noodle fork? I can see it thickening in real time. Gotta say, what an absolutely beautiful piece of tech. Like the materials, the aesthetic, the wooden handle. It didn't have to go this hard. Right, I would say 3 minutes later, we have a result. It even sounds foamy. So, was it worth all that hassle? That's one of the best things I put in my mouth. Ever. Let's be very clear. That's a 10 out of 10 drink. That is everything I ever dreamt that a chocolate milkshake could be. But I hate to be this guy. There is a very big asterisk here, because really, every part of the flavor of that drink, it's just the packet. It's just the pre-milled powder that comes in here. And so all this machine is really doing is creating the texture. Is that extra 5% velvetiness that you get from making your drink in this compared to just chucking it into a blender actually worth the extra money and the valuable countertop space and the time? Because this and this has to be hand washed. I don't think it is. It is better. It's just, for me, not enough better to justify all the faff. Now, we all know Cheetos, but what you might not know is that this company has realized that everyone secretly loves the Cheeto dust often left at the bottom of packets and has designed a machine to manufacture it on command. Oh my god. Gotta say, especially after that velvetizer, what an atrocious looking piece of tech. Like, specifically adding Cheeto dust coated fingerprints to the design kind of makes me want to throw up. Wait, this is really strange. It says, insert Cheetos and then hold at a 45-degree downward angle. So Cheetos go into the container. Okay, let's dust. That was extremely underwhelming. Okay, give it a shake. This feels a bit like the pot noodle fork. Given that it's Cheetos, building the product around Cheetos, you'd think they have a better mechanism than hold at 45 degrees and just consistently shake while it blends. Let's see if that sweet, sweet Cheeto dust was worth it. Let's really impress the in-laws. Oh! If you didn't tell someone this was Cheetos, could it actually work? It's really good. Grievances with the product aside, can't argue with Cheeto dust. It's just, should you buy one of these to make your Cheeto dust in when you can actually just do that? No, you should not. I made that in 4 seconds. But if you thought this was a left field product, then you will not see the next one coming. So Heineken, you know, that beer company, has made a phone case. The craziest phone case I have ever seen, but it kind of makes sense for them. Because the whole brand of Heineken centers on essentially being out with your friends. What ruins that? Well, people glued to their phones. So this phone case has a trigger word. And when you say that trigger, a mic over here picks it up, and then the flipper on the back should turn your phone upside down so that you can focus your attention on being with your friends. Gotta love a glass bottle. Cheers. Ah! Oh my god. Clearly, no one's buying this, but as far as marketing stunts go, I think that is one of the all-time greatest. But then what's even wilder, kind of feels like Heineken might have had a drink or two while planning this, is they have made not just a case of their own, but also an entire phone dedicated to the same anti-social concept. I like the fact that it's transparent, but then I would say as far as transparent designs go, pretty mid. You can see some of the glue marks and air bubbles on the inside. Oh, that's cool though. Really massive dial pad. I suppose it makes sense after you've had a few. What the hell? It specifically calls its camera a low pixel camera. I guess that's the phone trying to nudge you away from using it. And it is doing a pretty fine and dandy job at that. Goodness me. It's got quick snake. That snake designed to not keep you for a long period of time. Wait, what the hell? It just completes for you. You won, now go party. Oh my god. DIY taxi call. Step 1, get the bartender's attention. Ask if they can call you a taxi. Be proud that you don't drive after a drink. Sports check. Your team is hopefully doing fine, but you could do better if you get back to your friends. They put so much effort into this. It's like Heineken color UI, Heineken color backlighting for the buttons. There's logos everywhere. It's a custom designed phone. This is so cool, and it's so refreshing, while simultaneously making this completely useless as a phone. So it's kind of a shame that it can never be more than a gag gift. So Heineken gets a unspectacular C tier. You want to see happiness in a pouch? Yes, these are real bags of Nutella. A company with 1.5 million followers, and I would say one of the most dedicated fan bases of all food brands. And the thing that these guys have cooked up here sounds like Willy Wonka's fever dream. Has got to be the coolest product design we've seen so far. So this is a heated electronic dispenser designed for professional catering environments like hotels, and it's meant to make your Nutella just perfect. Take the back off, and then you hang your literally kilogram pouch of Nutella. It's more Nutella than I think you should be allowed to look at any one time. Wait, it takes 120 minutes to reach the perfect runny consistency. That's nuts. Okay, well, I guess we'll come back to that one. So while we wait, in comes Pizza Hut with a product so diabolical that they aren't actually selling it, but they will let you 3D print your own. The PlayStation 5 Pizza Warmer. The idea being, you've been holed up in your bedroom gaming all day, your Pizza Hut arrives and you don't want to stop playing your game while you eat it, but you also don't want it to go cold. So this pizza warmer can apparently redirect the heat coming out of the exhaust of your PlayStation 5 into making sure that it doesn't. Some part of me thought this was going to be a joke, but that appears to be working. Completely scientific experiment. Let's say 50% of our pizza goes into the pizza warmer, and then 50% stays in the original delivery box. What will the actual temperature difference be? Okay, you just keep this PlayStation as hot as you can. Well, now I'm hungry. And when I'm hungry, few things in life hit better than a KFC. But since I'm trying to be healthy, guess I'll just settle for the smell of KFC. With the company's official scented fire log. What the? It's not a log. It actually just looks like KFC scraped together a bunch of old packaging from the floor and threw it into a trash compactor. I mean, seriously, what a strange looking consumer product. But then in complete contrast to how it looks like literal garbage, it smells exactly like KFC chicken if you took out the chicken. So really herby and like a little bit spicy. There's something funny about the fact the product is called a log, especially when it looks like this. It's also meant to be a lot better than burning firewood with like 50% less emissions, but $25 a pop. Who's doing this? When it catches the log, it adds the final smoky element that it needed. I'm very torn. It would be probably cheaper to buy a KFC, eat it, and then set the leftovers on fire. But it's such a novel, interesting product. It's got a really good burn time, and it creates a nice vibe. Even Drisha, the vegetarian, is nodding. As someone who has regular dreams about this very scent, I'll give it an A. And now that we've not had some food, well, I guess it's time to not have some drink with Coca-Cola, who has 3.2 million followers. And they have actually partnered with K-pop group NewJeans to create a Coca-Cola Zero can that's actually a speaker. This is actually a pretty big deal. Like, as part of this ad campaign, the band even released an entirely new song just called Zero, which their fans weren't too pleased about because the chorus literally just translates to Coca-Cola is tasty. It is pretty cool though, having the exact dimensions and proportions of a real Coke Zero can, and USB-C charging. It's not terrible. It's not good. Ironically sounds kind of tinny. The only way you could get one of these was part of a prize draw, but we paid $50 for it. And for that, not a good audio investment. Okay, let's see if the company's hot dog roller is better. So this should actually be able to cook 8 hot dogs all at once, while also being able to warm up 6 buns at the same time. So it's far from just a Coca-Cola themed prop. And the cool thing about a roller, as opposed to a barbecue, is these things are designed to cook every part of your sausage evenly because of the constant rotation. Then the buns go into here. Oh, I see. So it's the heat from the cooking below that's meant to keep them toasty. I can respect that. That's somewhat efficient as opposed to having an entirely separate heating element. And while that's going, for our beverage, turns out the official Coca-Cola company also makes a vending machine fridge to dispense your cans from. You can tell that these guys are really trying to embed themselves in 1930s nostalgia. Right, we are loaded up. So let's say it's late at night and I fancy a no caffeine Coke. So that ejected both cans, but then one of them's stuck at the back. What on earth? I'm also wondering. Oh. So it's properly shaken the cans up on their way down. Did the hot dog just fly? What the hell? I think they're sticking to the rollers and one just got launched. Not very impressed with the Coke attention to detail here. And it's not even the function, it's just the base materials. Like, considering this was a $70 roller and this was a $240 fridge, it's made of such cheap, flexible plastic. Like, I actually feel like I could just push the frame off with my fingers. Even the handle, man. Nothing is safe. I've always had this impression of Coca-Cola as a premium brand, but you know, when you look at plastic you can just push in and sausages getting launched and like a lid that doesn't even close flat, it does tarnish it. Plus, as much as I think the concept of an at-home vending machine is sick, it has a depth of 2. So as soon as someone decides they want the second can of, say, Diet Coke, you're out. And now it looks a whole lot less cool. Is the bun warm? Yeah. Let's do this official American style. Bit of ketchup and mustard. I look like the Coca-Cola poster child right now. It tastes like I'm in America. Take from that what you will. Wait, what is that one doing? It looks like it spawned an entirely new entity. Considering the extremely high price I paid for all this Coke stuff, C-tier, I'm pretty disappointed. Ratings are looking pretty rough for these food companies right now. But it's not over yet. Let's check on this pizza. I'm assuming all the slices are still there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
This feels cold as hell. My thermal camera is picking up almost no thermal signature. It already tastes like leftover pizza. I'm so curious about this one though, because I can actually feel the heat coming out the back of this console. Whoa, temperature's saying over 40 degrees. It's not hot, but tastes fresh out the PlayStation. You can still tell that the pizza was made today. We put a foil tray inside just because I don't want to ingest a billion microplastics. And if you do that, it's actually a surprisingly not at all terrible product. Plus it costs basically $2 if you have the 3D printer already. I just can't give it anything more than a B because of how simple it is. Time for dessert. And for this, we have found something pretty crazy from the Oreo company. It's called the Music Box. And it is meant to play Oreos. Kind of like a vinyl player plays records. So Oreo rests in the middle, drag the arm on top. What? What is happening? It's even got an LED, which is such a weird but cool effect. Like what if we, just because we need to test it. I'm so curious, is it gonna stop playing where there are now gaps in the Oreo? It's just a completely different song. What if there's like the last crumb remaining? Let's drag it in again. What? Oh, so there's 5 different sensors underneath. Those must be light sensors, so they pick up how much of the light from the needle is getting through to the bottom to know how much of the Oreo is left. And then when all of them can see the light, it doesn't play anything. So if I just stick a random non-Oreo cookie in there, yeah, that's the exact same song it played when there was a full Oreo. Okay, so there's a mic button here. So if I hold that down, hello? We're talking to a cookie. And so now the next time that cookie is played, hello? You're talking to a cookie. Fascinating product, but also very gimmicky and probably not more than 20 minutes of entertainment. Now, I don't know who is proud enough to be a #1 McDonald's superfan to want to buy their merch, but it exists. And I might be the only one to have caved. There are 0 reviews, and yet they're still trying to pull the quantities limited card. But anyway, this is McDonald's $8 phone wedge. It's fairly decent quality, pretty heavy. It's got this microfiber, almost screen cleaner material on the bottom. And then your phone just slots in like that. It kind of feels like a phone gadget made for phones 15 years ago. It's just a worse version of like a MagSafe stand that also charges your phone. They do also make the Frybox wireless charger. At least this one has some iconography to it that isn't just order ahead in the app to save time. I love the fact that the website gives you absolutely 0 info beyond just the fact that it's made of PVC, as if that's the key spec of a wireless charger. Wait, they haven't even centralized the charging port, which, if it wasn't already enough of a crime, is micro USB. Let's connect it up to the fastest power bank we have. Okay, wireless charging 1%. 5 hours 37 till full. Their food may be fast, but their charger is absolutely horrendous. But then the main course is courtesy of McDonald's in Asia, who released a keyboard and mouse set in collaboration with Japanese TV series Ultraman. So what does a McDonald's desk setup feel like? All we need to do now is to drop into the Opera browser, our sponsor, and then ask Opera AI, make me an image of a really extreme McDonald's branded gaming PC to go with the keyboard and mouse. Go. Wait, what the hell? One of the keys has a cover that's just a cheeseburger, and then the M is a McDonald's logo. I rate that. That's an absolute monster. It comes with a Big Mac. I'd say I'm pretty disappointed with the keyboard. The typewriter aesthetic made it look really clicky and tactile, but it's actually super mushy. Plus, it's got such big gaps between the keys that it means that demonstrates my point exactly. Now, in this sidebar, it is kind of insane that I have access to all my WhatsApp messages, my Instagram feed for a 5-minute scrolling break. I've got X in case, and I do this a fair bit, I want to suddenly post something that I've been researching. Slack, this is all my work messages, all without leaving my browser window. So link below to download the Opera browser for free. So McDonald's has a pretty bad keyboard, the single worst wireless charger I think I've ever used, and then a beanbag for your phone that happens to be an advertising billboard. I'm gonna give Mackies a D. Okay, finally. I feel like 50% of my brain capacity for the last few hours has been solely dedicated to exerting the necessary willpower to not stick my face under this dispenser while Nutella's in my mouth.
Daddy, chill.
Oh, it's actually programmable. So you can choose exactly how much Nutella to the gram that you want each portion to deliver. Let's stick to the recommended 15. So 15 grams. Oh, that looks good. See, Nutella is normally a lot thicker than that. That is a much more spreadable Nutella consistency. I wonder if it's still warm. Dangerous machine to have at your disposal. I think we found our S. Ball of fame.